Next on the agenda under Finance and Operations is the question as to whether the school committee would like to take a position on Article 13 of the upcoming annual meeting for Shrewsbury. As you know, we have spent a good deal of time this year addressing the question of installing artificial turf fields at the high school. We've gone through several meetings. We've done a lot of research. And at our November meeting, we voted unanimously to approve Phase 1 based on a contingency that the $1.8 million will be raised in the community and through private donations and should fully fund the project. There are 12 individuals who have submitted Article 13 requesting that the town meeting formally oppose the installation of the artificial turf field at Shrewsbury High School. This question has been addressed by our lawyers and the town's lawyers as to where the authority flows here. The school committee and the school department has full authority over the approval and management of the turf fields at the high school. And this particular petition would be symbolic, but a little more. And so with that introduction, I invite comment. John.
Just for starters, I've obviously been involved as a liaison to the school committee with this project since the beginning. There's been a lot of time and effort and careful consideration given to the scope of this project. It's not something that you just take lightly. It's a massive undertaking, and I don't think I realized how much went into a turf field. The different infills, whether it's crumb rubber or coconut and cork or acrylic sand. There's a lot involved. So not only just for the infill, but the health and safety and the amount of testing that is done on these turf fields. It's extensive. There's quite a bit of data that shows the safety involved, also the level of play, the amount of times you can use this versus a natural grass field. And I think I agree. I mean, I think this project really stands on its merits. I certainly commend the project committee that has been working tirelessly on this. And I think we've just taken a major step forward with the generosity of Central One Credit Union. So,
Sandy.
I think this is an issue that we have looked at thoroughly for almost a year now. We've looked at use, health, financial aspects. We've listened to anyone who wanted to come and speak and talk about why they felt this was not a good project for the community. We responded to emails. So it was a transparent process throughout the entire length of it. I give anybody credit for standing up for what they believe in, but I think the public needs to know that this was fully vetted, and we wanted to make sure that this was a win-win situation for the community, and I would recommend that we vote to recommend defeat of this article.
Other comments? Erin.
What I would add is that we began the meeting with the generous donation from Central One, and not only does that help in building the turf field, but really for me it spoke to what the community wanted and what it valued, and that board that sounded diverse and not just all in Shrewsbury is thinking that of the benefit that it would bring to our Shrewsbury students. So I am against the article that is on town meeting and for continuing the project.
Other comments? Jason.
Obviously, this is my first meeting on this committee since this issue has been before you, and I do want to say, just for the public's benefit, that this is something that I have paid a great deal of attention to. I have made it my business to watch all of the presentations and discussions before this committee on this topic, as well as read all of the materials that were publicly available, and there was a lot. It is something that I've given a great deal of thought to. I've also received quite a bit of feedback from members of the community on both sides, starting from months ago. Actually, as recently as today, I got a call when I was leaving work, and I want to say I appreciate all that feedback. It's certainly good to discuss this. I do think, as Ms. Fritz pointed out, this was a process that was very open and fully vetted. and certainly a lot of folks had the opportunity for comment. I do oppose the article, and I do support the proposal for the athletic complex. From an environmental perspective, I will say, and I am someone with some work for an environmental consulting firm in my professional background. Certainly, I took seriously all of the claims with regard to toxicity. I have to say I found most of them to be specious, and I think that there is a real tendency to confuse the presence of a chemical with its potential to do harm. I will also say from an environmental perspective, I am very attracted to the idea that this proposal is going to help, well, not the idea, the fact that this proposal is going to dramatically reduce our water consumption when it comes to maintaining this turf. So those are amongst the reasons why I am in support. I think it makes sense. I trust that our staff have done their due diligence and that this is the way to go. So I do support the proposal. I also support us making a recommendation to town meeting. Obviously, this is going to be one of the livelier discussions at town meeting next week. I think that town meeting members will look to this committee to see what our thoughts are, and I think it's important that we provide guidance of that nature.
Excellent. Yeah, we went through a very extensive process. I think Mr. Collins and his staff generated a report on the known information regarding health risks and everything that was extremely thorough, getting down to even the paint that was used to make the stripes and whether that could possibly be toxic. Every little detail. We've gotten position papers from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, the Worcester Department of Public Health, and have taken the health risks very seriously. Also, we're not early adopters here. We're not the first district to try this out. And in fact, we are, most of the colleges and very many of the high schools that are around us already have installed artificial turf fields. So we are coming into the game with the experience of others who have felt that it was a good investment and that they're happy with it. And lastly, the people using this want it, which I think counts. And so if we look at the athletes, if we look at their parents, if we look at the coaches and the director of athletics, they are all strongly in favor of this. They feel it will improve their ability to do what they aim to do. And this will make it a resource that is more available to the rest of the community. So I agree. So I need a motion that the Shrewsbury School Committee recommend that the town meeting defeat Article 13 in the May 2017 annual town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? It passes.
Excuse me, Dr. Migi, if I could just make one brief comment that,
Yes.
in addition, that both the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee both unanimously voted to defeat Article 13 as well. So all three boards are in alignment and unanimously working to defeat this warrant article.
Excellent.